Welcome to Week 2, Lesson 1, Places, Regions, and People, Section 2. Our focus on this lesson is going to be on maps and understanding how they're different. A map is simply a diagram that visually represents a place on Earth. However, there are many different kinds of maps that show different kinds of information. Let's take a look at the first. A physical map. A physical map shows the physical features of an area, and it also is going to provide the reader with information about topography, or the height, depth, and shape of these features. Physical maps are going to identify mountains, deserts, bodies of water, and other landforms. They're also going to provide information about elevation or distance. The next type of map is a political map. Political maps are another common type of map. They're going to identify political boundaries between places. A political boundary is the dividing line that separates neighboring areas controlled by different governments or groups. These are political boundaries between countries, between states and provinces, and between other territorial areas such as counties and cities. In addition to showing the boundary lines, political maps often show capital cities and other major cities. Political maps may use a color to show different countries or internal divisions within a specific area. Boundary lines are usually drawn in black. Solid black lines typically represent international borders between nations, and thinner black lines or lines with dashes are often used to represent borders between states, territories, or smaller districts. Sometimes political maps also show major roadways or waterways using red, blue, or other colored lines. The map key on a political map lets the reader know what symbols represent specific types of borders and other information. The map we're seeing as an example shows red lines showing the major roadways and dark black lines to break up the states. Now let's move on to thematic maps. Thematic maps, or special purpose maps, show specific information related to certain themes or a subject. Such maps are very useful because they can provide details about a place quickly and easily through visual representation rather than words. The information presented on thematic maps can relate to either physical geography or human geography. A thematic map can also show different ways that people use the land by depicting an area's major industries, vegetation, population density and distribution, or even things as simple as our example here, which is showing soil moisture within the United States. Lesson 2 is going to show how we use these maps to break areas into regions. The focus for Week 2, Lesson 1. You need to make sure you remember to make your first response for the discussion board question and begin Activity 1 and Homework Activity 1 for this week. Be sure that you read the directions provided, and remember, any questions can be addressed to me through email or the discussion board or through your peer discussion board.